I've been noticeably quiet watching world events unfolding on television, especially the case with Espin. You imagine a billionaire got taken down by a three-letter word called sex. Sex brought him down, and sex is what our prime minister strives on. Does anybody in this country believe that our prime ministers, even the one to date, have not used their position for sexual advantage to take advantage of suspecting female, whether underage or otherwise? Can any prime minister in my lifetime take a lie detector test? All of them are married and say they have not had sexual intercourse outside their marriage while they were prime minister of the Bahamas. Does any Bahamian, you do a survey, does any Bahamian believe that neither one of our prime minister, Hubert Ingram, Perry Christie, right now Dr. Minnis, have not had sexual intercourse with somebody while they're prime minister and they're married? You bring the lie detector, and that lie detector will you'll holler, yeah, they're no good. But the intriguing thing about it, most Bahamian accept it as a normal behavior. Kai has never done that. I just shake my head and say, boy, these brutes, these guys are brutal. And they call themselves the right honorable. They got so much honor that they forgot how to be honorable, and they forgot what the word honorable means. It's like no sin, no wrong, all good. That is the word honorable means to me. That nobody could point a finger at you and say you done wrong while you're sitting in the high office as prime minister of this country. But they're allowed to do it because Bahamians accepts it. Buddy, I just look at that protest in Hong Kong and the one in Puerto Rico and pray to the universal God. God, I just wish that we had some Bahamians that will take to the street in demand integrity and clean, clear government. That is my everyday prayer. Somebody said to me in the bar last night, you're always getting in people's business. You always get this video up and down, getting in people's business. And I just said to the gentleman, this is not for y'all D students. D mean you're dumb. This is for intelligent people. What Kai Mills is doing is bringing light to a situation that y'all don't want to talk about. And I get my licks because I bring it out. Everybody who tried to speak truth is egg-faced in this country. I'm just talking about it, but they're doing it. I'm doing it because I want better for my country. I want better for my future generation. My generation accepted the garbage. That is not the norm. You know what it'll be like in Haiti. Don't try to disrespect them Haitians. They got more sense than the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, immigration, police force, and all. We are there cruising in $140 million boat. And the Haitian there with their $1,000 boat is coming right into the Marsh Harbor port, full of cocaine, full of grass, full of illegals, when we looking down at them Haitians and they're bringing it ashore every time because our law enforcement is so ill-trained that the Haitians are bringing the drugs ashore and the guns, unmanned path down there. They're bringing in, taking things, everything stolen. They're stolen things and send it back to Haiti, and no check and balance. And it's been happening for years. You imagine in Hong Kong, forget the Bahamas. We ain't got no integrity here, the majority of us. We just looking to cozy up to these MP to get a contract while the country is going to hell. You imagine in Puerto Rico, Hong Kong, that the prime minister of this country, the biggest contract that was given 1 year to them just getting into office. Prime Minister and Brent Simonet. Prime Minister happened to be the third largest shareholder of Bahamas Fast Ferry. Brent Simonet happened to be the second, and then you got a foreign white guy. We don't even know who the hell he is. He's also mixed up. How could a foreigner be in bed with the Bahamas Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert Minnis, and Brent Simonet, the man that's supposed to be responsible for investment? And these brutes would sit down with Bakers Bay, one of the most corrupt entity that I've seen in Abaco, blatant. And Bakers Bay gave our Prime Minister $25 million. Brent Simonet, a sitting minister, $25 million. And these guys are there to do more corrupt stuff. And the Bahama and the Bahamian people just accept it. Wow. That could never happen in Haiti. Just today, the 12th in the Tribune, that the Haitians were forging documents to get people to get married, to get a visa. And these guys were called back to Haiti. But our Prime Minister, Brent Simonet, sit down with Bakers Bay. I saw him, I said, something going on. Brent keep getting picked up and going over the Bakers Bay. When I found out 18 people from Abaco got sent home, Brent Simonet brought his cavalry of Bahama Fast Ferry workers into Abaco and accepted that contract. What that contract means is that the government cannot touch Bakers Bay anymore. You got to try $25 million. That was given to the Prime Minister of this country. And to date, Bakers Bay is still picking up every day, all day off all airlines without any license, no transportation license, to pick up guests from the Marshall Bay Airport, to drop them off, go into the private airport like they'll be on route, back and forth on the ramp. Then they bring them down to Harborview Marina, where they got 4 or 5 boats there that has no ferry license, no permission under this government, nor the last government, to carry these people back and forth at $175 per person. Paying no national insurance on that money, paying no tax, got no license, and this has been happening for over 10 years. The citizen of this country says nothing. My taxi drivers, Jesus help us. 95% of them are female. They're on my case every day. Perceive that I taken 1 job to Treasure Key, when Bakers Bay taking 20, 30 jobs a day. I am licensed, insured, and registered to do business in this country. Bakers Bay is not, and they're taking 30 jobs a day, and these women wouldn't open their mouth. Could that have happened in any other island in the Bahamas? This could never happen in Freeport. We got people in Freeport that does ferry. We got people in Nassau that does ferry, licensed, legitimate. Over 10 years, Bakers Bay has been doing it. In Abaco, continue to do it under this government. And how they shut the government up, give the Prime Minister $25 million. And we, the Bahamian people, just sit in awe. The United States government came down the other day to shut our port down. Not a dollar being spent to upgrade that since the American was here a month ago. Nothing has changed. I think they just want to close this one down and go down to the port down there, let Brent buy that out, lease the Treshke Airport, turn it into FBO, and let the rich keep getting richer and don't care nothing about law, decency, and order. And this is why they got rid of the PLP, for the same exact things that the F&M doing, no integrity. You imagine Kai Mills at the airport and being harassed for 2.5 years, 20 tickets for picking up and dropping off at the Marshall Bay International Airport. Bakers Bay show up with their bus, park anyway, and untouchable. An illegal operation competing against Kai Mills, and they cannot touch. My prayer to the universal God, send us some people like they are in Hong Kong. Send us some people like they are in Puerto Rico. Some people that care about government and say enough is enough, to hell with y'all. The power situation in Nassau, everybody's sweating and nobody want to sweat for the right reason. Nobody want to hit to the street and demand better government. Nobody want to hit to the street and say, you know what, enough is enough. Y'all already got enough. Y'all already got enough contracts secure for you, your family, your sweethearts. Enough. You're bleeding this country. And there's no integrity. This Bakers Bay deal alone, that $25 million that the Prime Minister and Brent Simner got, they supposed to be asked to resign long time. But I haven't heard anything from the opposition. I wonder why. Does anybody in the opposition have shares also in Bahama Fast Ferry? Why they're so visibly quiet? Man, I would have been, every time they get up to speak, I would remember to remind them about this deal in Bakers Bay, where the Prime Minister and Brent Simner got $25 million, their first deal that they made for themselves, not the country. $25 million in their pockets. That is what I would have done every time they opened their Mountain Host Assembly, to remind the Bahamian people that this government is corrupt and incomparable and unacceptably shouldn't be governing in this country. They are too blatant. And to date, Bakers Bay is still running the racket, still no license, nobody's touching them. And right down there, you got 3,000 Haitians that are selling every day in the mud and the peas. They got a bar, they got barber shop, they got a flea market, they got a fruit stall, they got a liquor store, they got prostitution ring, they got a drug ring, they got a gun racket. Every illegal thing you could think about is in the mud. And the Marshall Police under Kevin Mortimer has not made one single arrest, has not tried one day to shut these people down, but they tried to shut Kai down and shut Kai out by putting him before the courts only for traffic, because I dare not do no crime. While Mortimer and them was committing crime, I was preventing crime on the streets of Abaco, and they're here as law enforcement, and they're still allowing people to commit crime while I do no crime, and they're trying to shut me up because I'm calling them out. Kai is still policing the police in Abaco. It is hard, it is sad, but it's still happening. Kai cares. I'm awake from that sleep now. I got a lot to talk about. What happened if some person come and said, while my prime minister was prime minister of this country, he had sex with me against my will, like S. Spain did, what would happen to that person? Will be hushed, hushed, hushed away. We need more people to speak out against the corrupt practices of our prime minister and our government and allow ourselves to hit the streets and say enough is enough. Stop the bleeding. We need competent government. That has not happened in this country for a long, long time. You're live on WCAY here in Marsh Harbor, Abaco.